Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Mike's Mini Motors. So, in this one we're actually starting a new build. This is the, well, it's a Mega Moto Mini Bike that I picked up, but I'm calling it the Monstrosity Moto because it's in pretty rough shape. It's got like this bar stool welded on it. This is their brake. So yeah, this video what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this thing torn down to looking like a normal mini bike again. And we'll get it cleaned up because it's covered in grease and everything like that. And then we can actually start the build process. And I'm not sure exactly how far we'll get in this video, but we'll at least get it torn down. Before I start on any of that, I'm going to actually grab the camera and get you guys a closer look so you can see exactly the shape that this thing's in. And then I've already started to get some parts in, and I'll show you guys what I have so far. So let's get a closer look. Alright, so here's the close-up of this monstrosity. So the first thing that caught my attention, and probably catches most people's attention first, is this bar stool seat that they welded on here. I have no idea what happened to the old seat or anything like that, but this has got to go. So I'll cut that off and we'll get a regular seat on here. Next is this guy. This is their brake system. If you look down here, see it goes all the way to the caliper. Pull it. It looks like it could possibly work, but it looks very dangerous too, so that'll go. And then this is the little, I don't know, it's either an 80 or 105 or some little tiny engine that came on these things from the factory. Let's see if we can, come on. See here on this peg, they must have hit something because it's bent back. I'll see if I can try to get that bent forward a little bit back to the shape it should be in. Up here in the handlebars, we have what used to be a headlamp, I think, that was duct taped on, and the throttle mechanism here is all jacked up. No brake lever. The front air actually, excuse me, front tire actually held air. The rear tire is completely off the bead and everything. So I'll see if I can bead that up and get the hold air again. And I'm missing a kickstand and a tensioner, and this engine didn't have the clutch on it, so that's why they stopped riding it. But actually I was quite surprised this engine actually runs. All I had to do was turn the kill switch to on, hold a few times, and it started up. I was actually really surprised. Alright, so for the spare parts I've got so far, here's the first one that I wanted to get, is the new seat to replace that thing. Next we're going to up the motor to this Predator 212 I have here. The engine's brand new, but I had to pull the carb off of it for another project, so I have a replacement one I'll put on there. Picked up the adjustable engine mounting plate, the rear sprocket adapter, and a set of split gears. And then this is the same adapter that I put on my other mini bike, but this one actually came black like it was supposed to. The other one came just raw aluminum, so that's why I had to anodize it. Then a number plate, just because this one doesn't have it. And then this should be a big safety upgrade here. This is the mini bike hydraulic brake setup and mounting bracket from Go Power Sports. Actually, I think all these parts came from Go Power Sports. The new kickstand here. All new controls, so we got a new throttle and grip. And then also we'll have the brakes. So that'll be complete the controls. And then I also picked up a max torque clutch. And I think what I have left to get this at least running and everything is I need to pick up a stage 1 kit for the Predator there, because it doesn't fit in the frame in its stock form. So either I'll pick up a stage 1 kit or I will upgrade stuff on the other mini bike and put its stuff taking off of there and put it on this guy. In the close-up video of this bike, I said that the engine runs, and so I'm going to start it up real quick. Show you, this is all I did is kill switch, So at least I can pull the engine off and save it for something. I have no idea what I'll save it for, but I got an extra engine. Alright, so now that you've seen the mini bike up close and kind of seen the state that this thing, the sad state that this thing's in, and some of the parts I've got, I'm going to go ahead and start on tearing this thing down. And I'll do a lot of it on hyperlapse because you guys probably don't want to see it in normal time. But I'm going to start with getting the seat taken off and these ugly welds ground down and cleaned up. And then I will get that engine pulled off of there. And yeah, that's where I'm going to start with. Alright, so that wheel's off of there now, but it's, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera or not, but it's a lot of dry rot and cracking and stuff. So I'm still going to attempt to get this thing to bead because I don't have anything else to replace it with right now. But if I can get it to bead, I'll fill it with some air and see if we can at least get it to hold air. Alright, so I got the tire beaded again. It did end up taking the bead blaster, which luckily I still, I have, but it is not going to work. I don't know if you guys can see it and hear it, but right here is quite the crack. It was that big spot. Like I think that's where the tire was sitting on the ground. And yeah, so this thing needs a new rear tire. So unfortunately I don't have any, so I'll have to order one. Well, unfortunately the tire is no good. All those dry rot cracks and everything, they're leaking air, and so I'm gonna have to get a new tire. But one thing I'm thinking I may do is you can pick up the street tires, so they're not as knobby and they're more of like, not slick, but just more of a street type tire, and probably put those on the other mini bike because that'll be more of a street style build because it's more performance. And then this one will probably be for putzing around in the woods and stuff, so it can have the knobby tires. The other thing I was going to do is put the sprocket adapter and the split sprocket on here, but since I have to disassemble all this anyways to replace the tire, I'm not going to do that today. So this is going to become a short one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, but in the next one, when I get the tires and everything like that, what I'll do is I will get the sprocket adapter put on, we'll hook up the hydraulic brakes and run that up, and then probably get our controls all situated so that we can get that motor put in. But what I'm going to do next is actually put this thing in my truck and take it to the car wash because it's gross. And power wash it and get all the oil and stuff and that old motor off of it. And then it'll look a little prettier when you guys see it in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching. If you're liking what I'm doing, give me a like, leave me a comment if you want to say something, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. With that, have a good one, guys.